The U.S. Federal Reserve, which is the U.S.'s equivalent of the Bank of Canada, met this week. And once just like Canada, no change. But you already got to read between the lines of what these guys say. Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve. So what do he say? He gives the usual noises. He gives the same noises they always give. Oh, we're going to be vigilant. We're going to keep an eye on inflation. Blah, blah, blah. But looks like there was another little development this week. There was a New York bank, a New York regional bank not looking good. Big loan loss reserves, a little bit of trembling in the marketplace. And, maybe and their inflation in the U.S. it's a little better shape than ours, just a little bit better than ours. Okay. So banking issues, which we saw last year, had some impact on treasuries and Canada bonds. Got a little bit of impact today on that. I mean, if we sum it up, even though Jerome Powell continues to talk tough, if you read between the lines, there's probably some sort of cut coming in the U.S., okay? Because at the end of the day, they have a dual mandate in the United States. They have both inflation mandate at the Federal Reserve and an employment mandate at the Federal Reserve. So he can't just pretend if inflation is gradually, slowly coming down, he can't pretend he can't pay attention to jobs numbers, because even though U.S. job numbers is good, there's still some signs things aren't quite as good in their economy. We had the UPS shipments down quite a bit. UPS, one of the biggest mover of goods in the United States, and you can see how their revenues are declining. That means there's just less goods moving around, and that ain't good. Less goods is not good. All right. So what's it all mean for Canada? If the U.S. Federal Reserve cuts come in May, still months away, but if the first cut comes in May, then we may cut in April. I mean, you got to read the tea leaves, got to follow all the trends. And by the way, then if there's no cut in May in the United States, and inflation continues to just slowly come down, in the U.S., there will be a cut in June, and then for sure, Canada will get a cut in June and July. Because as much as they try to pretend they're completely independent of each other, particularly Canada, like the truth is the U.S. Federal Reserve doesn't give a tiny damn about what any other country does. They just don't. They do not. Yeah, they talk to each other. They're in communication. Jerome Powell talks to Tiff Macklem, not much, but he also talks to the head of the EU central bank. He talks to the Bank of Japan. He doesn't talk to the Bank of China that much. Apparently Russia, very much not. But at the end of the day, they talk, they synchronize, they consider how to do things together. But the leader is Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve. So if they sound like they're going to drop, not right now, not till May, not till June, but if that's in place, Tiff Macklem will be pleased to drop, because he's watching these layoffs in Canada. He's watching the lousy per capita GDP in Canada, and he knows, I'd love to drop. I'd love to get started on the cuts. But got to keep an eye on the U.S. Fed, because there's a balancing act for the Canadian dollar if we cut first. But if we cut first, certain if the Bank of Canada cuts first, certain that the U.S. will cut the following month, that's okay. Dollar impact will be negligible. So what does this all mean? The economic signs point to a very slight slowdown in the United States, a greater slowdown in the country of Canada. We all know it. We've noticed it. We've seen it. We've felt it. So the cuts are coming. The U.S. Federal Reserve vibe today was, there's no more increases. Increases are dead, and I'm thinking about cuts. He didn't say that. Jerome Powell did not say that. J. Powell, that's what they call him in the States. J. Powell, okay? He did not say that. But our Bank of Canada Governor, Tiff Macklem, will read the signs and think, yep, looks like I'm set for cuts in the summer, if not sooner. And what does my buddy Tiff Macklin think of all this? I think I don't care what you say or think. He isn't happy with me. I'll just tell you that straight up. Not happy, okay? But the real facts are, looks like the U.S. is coming around to cuts, and there will be coordination, and we will see further evidence of Bank of Canada cuts in the summer, if not possibly earlier.